Hello, everyone. Happy 4th of July, America. I'm pianist Min Kwan. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm thrilled to share with you the world premiere of America Beautiful, starting today, July 4, 2021. For me, the project is my love letter to the country that raised me and its rich musical tradition that has nurtured my career as an artist. But I hope this project also speaks to each of you, perhaps reminding you of what America means to you and giving you hope to imagine an even more beautiful America. Above all, by answering the silent solitude of 2020 with a diverse chorus of American voices, this project celebrates what is most beautiful about this country. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. For this important project, I asked 70-plus American composers, ranging from age 20 to 93, and representing over 33 cultures and countries of origin, to capture the state of our union in sound, each composing their own variation on our beloved song, America the Beautiful. The result is a powerful testament to the American ideals of diversity and unity. I'm honored to take part in this collective artistic statement alongside these remarkable composers. And I invite you to join the conversation by tuning into a 4-day series of live stream concerts starting today through July 8th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time each day. Thank you. Please enjoy the music and happy birthday, America.
America has been very good to us as a family, and to me as an individual. It's given me every chance. And I feel I've been to every state except Alaska and Hawaii, and have taught at so many universities and other schools. And it's been such an expansive country for me. And, you know, having studied with somebody like Aaron Copland, who was so upbeat about America all the time, I caught that spirit. And, you know, also Walter Piston, who was also very upbeat about America. All of my teachers were. Paul Hindemith came over here at the worst time during the war. Just before the war, he came here, and he loved America too until the McCarthy affair when he went back to Europe. But everything in my upbringing was that upbeat spirit of America, which I try to show in this variation.
of a ripened field of grain, an amber, field of grain, waving in the wind, just oscillating in the 10,000 modes of oscillation that a field has. On a sunny day with that blue sky, bright blue August sky, or of the plain states where the sky is where we live.
Hi, my name is Avner Dorman, and when Min Kwon contacted me and asked me to write a variation on America the Beautiful, she had specific ideas that how my style could fit well with this huge project. And what she told me is that she really likes the way that I write virtuosic piano music. And I was really thrilled to try to write a single variation that would be very virtuosic. It's something that I enjoy doing as a pianist myself. It's kind of a way to explore parts of the technique that maybe I can't play, but other more proficient pianists can, more virtuoso pianists can. And I also thought this could fit really well with the sort of the over-the-top nature of this country. The time was not the easiest time in our history. This was in August of 2020 during the pandemic, and a lot of political and social issues. And of course, as a person living in this country, as a citizen, I felt these very much like anyone else, but I kind of decided to focus on the excessive, over-the-top nature that America kind of represents to me when things are good, when things are bad. It's always very larger than life and extreme. I remember when I first came to the United States, landing in Newark and taking transportation into New York City, just being amazed at the size of everything. And ever since, this has been kind of a recurring theme. So this piece kind of takes a more perhaps a little bit humorous, sometimes maybe sarcastic view, the extravagance, the power, the size that characterizes America, and takes this through like the virtuosic technique of the piano. So I hope everyone enjoys it.
I guess my concept was we can choose what we want to see and hear, right? Do we celebrate this surface, patriotic feeling about our country? Do we look deeper and recognize this hopeful struggle? Are we aware of the problems going on. So it presents a few different things at once, and yeah, let's see what people hear when they listen to it.
And I remember when I wrote that section where it has this moment of hope, it was like around the time of the election. And it was kind of like a hopefulness, but kind of a scary sort of optimism. And I tried to capture that feeling. And I remember it felt kind of, I'm sure many people on this project felt this way, but it kind of very emotional to be writing this. I remember I grew up in elementary school, but growing up, like every morning in elementary school, we sang some patriotic tune as well as sing the Pledge of Allegiance. And I like think about kind of like where America kind of got to from like decades ago. And it was just it was kind of a release to write this, honestly.
as I'm being half Korean, half Tatar, growing up in Uzbekistan, being born in the Soviet Union, and speaking Russian, and being sort of raised in this Russian culture. So there was always some kind of this touchy subject being like a minority somewhere. But here, I felt differently. Here, I felt that I was among the people who also were the same kind, like as you, coming from the other country, representing your own like ethnic and cultural background. So thus in this piece, when I wrote it, I kind of let my cultural background come out. From one side, it's the sort of Russian pianistic tradition, and in this some sense it comes from like post-Grabinian, post-Rachmaninoff, quite lush and rich in terms of texture. And at the same time, yes, me being half Korean and growing up in Uzbekistan, sort of my Asian side, like kind of led these ornaments and sort of pentatonic sonorities come out in this piece. But I very much followed the tune. So like the first part of the piece, it's like just basically extending each phrase of the tune and then shortening the other part of the original tune. So it's all kind of chronologically.
I kind of took inspiration from Terry Riley's In C, where they give you like the where he gives you like the little snippets to just play over and over again, and like you get to choose like, oh, how many times you play it, and so forth. And I really just wanted to create like a a unique experience every time this piece was performed.
assignment that you gave, which is to reflect upon the song America the Beautiful, suggested to me a few different things. It's a complex project to take on because, like so many Americans, my feelings about this country are incredibly complicated and in a lot of ways conflicted, and not wanting to ignore the parts of our history that are also unbelievably painful and shameful, in addition to what makes us, an extraordinarily resilient and rich, with so many different things, nation, So in a way, the word passage was an interesting pun for me, the idea of a passage of music, passage from America the Beautiful. I also use Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, which I'll explain a little bit more. And if you think about the opening third, obviously the quality changes between the two, but at the same time, I sutured them together in a way. So a passage from each of those quotes, a passage in terms of from a journey from one place to another, a passage as in the passage of tears.
So a lot of pieces that I write, I'm always kind of re-articulating the approach because I love this kind of approach, and I think that this is part of the fabric of what this country is. And the approach is how can we interweave our cultural practices together in a way that doesn't dilute the practice itself, but also it can become something that we can all share, right, as a community. And so with this piece, this work focuses on like the joy of that process, the joy of encountering like an unfamiliar experience, but then being able to absorb that and let it be part of your community. And so this piece is heavily influenced by Persian classical music, and it's also influenced by West African music, as well as, I mean, even when you listen to the piece, you can hear hints of European classical and things that are done here in the United States that came about here in the United States. But a lot of the major focus is Persian classical and some elements of West African.
with this piece, I wanted to acknowledge the original work and also celebrate just the rich tapestry of musical heritage that America has. And so I start off the piece acknowledging like the 1920s early blues sound, as well as a kind of a low country, Black congregational sound. And then I wanted to progress further to a more of a modernized Aaron Douglas and George Gershwin and Fats Waller inspired sound. And
wow. Yeah.
Pay homage to, of course, the spiritual America's music, America's sacred music, with a nod to Every Time I Feel the Spirit.